In the world of K-pop, full of glitz and fierce competition, only a handful of stars are able to maintain their charm while also showing incredible depth of character. Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS, is one of the few artists who is admired not only for his stage presence but also for the mysterious and serene aura that surrounds his personal life. Recently, a leading K-pop expert shocked the public by revealing a hidden technique that V has been closely guarding, a habit that turns out to be the key to his emotional stability, creativity, and success. In an exclusive interview with South Korea's leading entertainment media, the K-pop expert, who has been analyzing the career development of idols for over 2 decades, stated that V has a meditative habit that is very rare among young idols. V is the type of artist who delves into silence, the expert said. He has his own technique to calm his mind, and it doesn't come from regular practices like yoga or traditional meditation. He developed his own way. The technique in question is known among V's inner circle as V's silent ritual. It's not meditation in the conventional sense, but more like a silent observation ritual, a method in which V sets aside 20 to 30 minutes every day to be completely still, with no music, no phone, no interaction. He simply sits in his favorite spot, usually near a window or in a park, and lets his thoughts flow. Often he writes or draws after this ritual, creating works of art that are full of emotion and imagination. It's not about not thinking, the expert explains. It's about observing your own thoughts without judging them, without having to shape them into something. V developed this technique in the early days of BTS, when the pressures of being an idol were at their peak. In this way, he keeps himself intact. In fact, the BTS members themselves have mentioned several times that V often disappears for short periods of time before performances or filming. Now the public knows that these moments are not just a break, but part of a very disciplined self-management technique. In BTS documentaries, some observant fans have noticed that V has a certain pattern. He sits alone, looks up at the sky, and just smiles without saying anything. Turns out that's part of his hidden technique. Not only does it help maintain sanity amidst a busy schedule, this technique is also said to play a major role in keeping V's inner voice and artistic intuition sharp. He often composes beautiful melodies after this silent ritual session, even writing moving lyrics like in the songs Blue and Gray and Winter Bear. According to the expert, V intuitively aligns his emotions and artistic inspiration from this silent space. Even more interestingly, this technique is also rooted in Eastern philosophy that emphasizes the importance of wu wei, or non-forced action. Although V has never openly linked his technique to a particular philosophy, his movements, life choices, and way of communicating show a deep understanding of the harmony between silence and action. Fan reactions have varied, from admiration to inspiration, to try the technique in their daily lives. Many armies on social media have begun sharing their experiences of trying their own versions of the silent ritual, hoping to experience a little peace and clarity like their idol. This openness to the technique not only shows V's human side, but also changes the way people view success in the entertainment world. It's not just hard work, but also inner work that is the true foundation. In a world that is so noisy and fast-paced, V quietly shows that true strength can be born from silence. That being extraordinary doesn't always mean being the loudest or the most visible. Sometimes being the clearest in silence is the highest form of strength. Now, thanks to the revelations of the KPOP expert, we can see V in a different way. Not only as a charming idol on stage, but also as an artist, a thinker, and a human being who chooses to face the world with meaningful silence. Interestingly, this hidden technique not only affects V's personal and artistic side, but also the way he relates to the people around him. According to the expert, V has a high social sensitivity because he is used to reading the energy around him in silence. He can tell when someone is not okay just from their body language or facial expressions, he said. This ability makes him a warm figure without always being vocal. His silence speaks volumes, and that is his strength. V's silence is not a form of avoidance, but rather a way for him to absorb the world. In various documentary clips, V is seen as often the observer in a group. He prefers to listen first before commenting, and when he does speak, his words often carry unexpected depth. This is in line with the philosophy that wise people don't always talk the most, but know when to speak and when to remain silent. This technique also has a big impact on dealing with media pressure and public expectations. In the midst of an entertainment industry that often demands perfection and openness, V is able to create a healthy boundary between himself as a public figure and himself as a human being. The K-pop expert even said that V is one of the few idols who is able to control the narrative about himself without having to completely close himself off from the public. One manifestation of this technique is how V conveys his emotions through visual art and music. He often shares his paintings or black and white photos that look simple but hold deep meaning. Many fans believe that these works are born from his personal contemplation sessions. It is no wonder that many people feel close to V, even though they don't know him directly. He speaks in a universal language, emotional honesty. There is something very down-to-earth yet magical about the way V lives his life. He doesn't try to be the center of attention, but that is precisely why he is captivating. His decision to slow down and enjoy the moment in this fast-paced world is a kind of gentle yet powerful form of resistance. He proves that success does not have to be achieved through endless competition, but can be achieved through harmony with oneself. The K-pop expert even suggested that this kind of technique needs to be introduced more widely, especially among young people who are vulnerable to social pressure and identity crises. Today's youth are bombarded with expectations to always be on, to always be productive. But V shows that stepping aside, being quiet, and feeling can be more healing than constantly moving around aimlessly, he said. With the revelation of this technique, discussions about the importance of mental health in the K-pop industry have resurfaced. V is a living example that maintaining mental health doesn't always have to involve therapy or medication. Sometimes, it's enough to just get to know yourself and create a safe space within yourself. A lesson that doesn't come from a seminar or a book, but from an idol who chooses to be aware in silence. V's authenticity is an inspiration. He doesn't use the technique as an image tool or marketing strategy, but as an integral part of who he is. He doesn't feel the need to explain his every action because he knows that those who see with their hearts will understand. That's why V's charisma feels different. It's not just about his looks or style, but about how he lives mindfully. Small moments like when he holds his pet dog, reads poetry, or just sits by the window and watches the rain are all pieces of life filled with sincerity. For Five, life isn't about being the fastest, but about being the most present. And perhaps that's why he always feels there, even though he often seems quiet. His fellow BTS members have also hinted several times that V has his own way of dealing with pressure. Jin once said in an interview, "Taehyung has his own little world that no one can enter, but he finds peace there." It's a rare admission in the world of KPOP, which is usually full of performativeness and openness that can sometimes feel forced. Trainers and managers who have worked with him have also said that V rarely experiences emotional outbursts. He often withdraws to process what he's feeling before returning with renewed energy. He knows when it's time to recharge, said a big hit staffer who asked not to be named. And then he always comes back with a different spirit, deeper, sharper.
But you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play it, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, heard it